All right. Grand Rising, everyone. Grand Rising. Welcome, welcome. Peace and love. I'm Angele. Welcome to day 379, the Wake Up Community. Grand Rising, family. Grand Rising. Let's see. Hey, peace, Adam. Welcome. Grand Rising. Welcome, Facebookers. How y'all doing? Welcome, Facebook. Grand Rising.
Peace and blessing, family. Good morning.
Good morning, Teresa. Grand Rising. Y'all doing? Grab some water. If you have a pen or something to write with, or if you take notes in your phone, you may want to be prepared to take some notes today. Hey, Ariane. Peace, sister. How y'all doing today? Grab some water, something to write with. Or, get your screenshots, be ready to take your screenshots today. Give y'all some info. Peace and love, everyone, as you're coming in. Welcome, Facebook, again. Welcome, welcome. Peace and love, everyone, as you're coming in. Welcome. Grand Rising, hey, Teresa, hey. How y'all doing? Great day, great day. Got the family coming in. How y'all doing? So Grand Rising. Grand Rising, Lord. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey. If you want to grab some water or something to write with, to take some notes, or get your phone ready for some screenshots, or your device ready for some screenshots, it's rising. Grateful to have y'all in the space. Grand Rising, hey.
Peace and blessings.
Peace, peace. Grand Rising. Welcome again, Facebook. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. Grand Rising, Naomi. Peace to Star Candace. Hey, y'all.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning, We're striving together, together. We're leading, connecting, transforming together, together.
Peace and love, family. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Much gratitude for y'all joining me on this sunrise. Grab some water, grab a pen, be prepared to take some screenshots to stay. I'm Angele, and I'm the founder of Journeys in Harmony, my holistic wellness practice. And I'm also the founder of the Ampersand Group, where I connect people and places to cultivate nurturing strategic partnerships that facilitate regenerative and giving communities and economies. And so today, we are going to have a conversation about mindful partnerships and investing in healthy collaborations. And so again, grab your journal, grab some water, and to get started, I would love to hear from you all first. And Tiffany, we can go ahead and put up the first slide. I would love to hear from you all and invite you to think about what have you found to be one of your greatest challenges in your partnership or collaboration endeavors. And so feel free to offer in the chat, but I want you to take about 30 seconds or so and just really think about your relationships and your partnerships and your collaborations as you're planning events. Oh, we can go back to the first slide. As you're planning events or building and doing new projects and things like that, what have you found to be some of your greatest challenges? And so if you want to take a couple of seconds to think about that, write it in the chat. Consider, ways in which you have received or not received support in your co-creations. Just take a moment to think about that. And I would love to bring someone into the space, top of the conversation, to just speak on kind of some of what have your challenges been in co-creating. I'm seeing in the chat, asking for help, delegating, yes. Procrastination, Was that someone who wanted to share in the space? Sounds like someone may have come off mute. Also, please feel free to let me know what our Facebook family is receiving today. Understanding my capacity. Okay, I would love to hear more about that, Carmen. If you're open and to coming into the space, speaking a little bit more about understanding your capacity. That's a good one.
I'm open to coming in this space. Thank you. I think that I sometimes am challenged in taking on too much. I sometimes feel like I'm Superwoman and can do all these things, and I don't realize that I am actually in a partnership and I can depend on other people. Like, to the idea that if I want it done a certain way, I have to do it, and then I end up doing all things. And at the event, I'm looking crazy and everybody's looking kind of smooth, and then I have like a resentment build it up.
Mm-hmm. So I'm also hearing that maybe delegating and maybe also holding people accountable to that delegation may also be something that you might be a little bit challenged with. Would I be correct in that?
Yeah, I think it actually has more to do with like asking for my needs to be met or expecting that my needs will be met, even if I ask. Okay.
I appreciate that. Thank you for offering that into the space. Thank you. And we're gonna touch on some of those things too here in a bit. Grateful for your share. I see like-minded goals are hard to find. Okay, Candace. I hear that. I feel that as well. So let's get started. We can go to the next slide, please. And we're gonna, all these challenges, thank y'all for dropping them in. We're gonna touch on these things throughout, so I appreciate that. So let's look at, why do we even partner in the first place? Why partner? And so there are several reasons why we partner, and also as you see these, feel free to drop in some other things that may come to mind in the chat. We partner to build on each other's strengths, to fill in gaps in areas of need, and to fill in gaps in areas of growth. We partner to cross-promote one another's business. And we also partner to share intelligence and to expand our business and our service offerings. And so, you know, looking at the reasons as to why we partner, oftentimes it's like, okay, you know, there may be something that we're looking to do and we may not have all of the resources in-house. And so it's always great to offer ourselves up, you know, for support, and to also co-create. Co-creation is incredible when working together and, you know, bringing resources together to see how we can best support one another in achieving our own goals. And so partnership is so powerful in really, you know, stepping into manifesting what it is that we're here to do, and just the goals of what we're looking to achieve. I see some great things coming in on through the chat, and so I would ask for admin if you could support me in just reading some of the things. I see some stuff coming in on Facebook.
Okay, I'll support. On Facebook, Kaisha shared, my greatest challenge is getting started and procrastinating. This is in reference to partnership. I wait till the 9th hour to get everything done at once, but then I'm stressed to complete my to-do list. You know, what I hear in this actually is it's more individualized share, or at least that's what I hear, as opposed to working with someone else. So maybe it exists with someone else, but I would love, Kaisha, for you to share more about how that impacts partnership, so Angele can offer you the gold. And let's see, trusting, this is from Darlene, trusting, speaking up when things are out of order, asking for help, delegating, knowing how to break down tasks so that they can be shared. And let me see what else. Deborah McKinney said, my biggest challenge is keeping going when I feel intimidated by the challenges of moving forward and keeping the momentum going. And once again, Angele is speaking about partnership. So what's the impact on partnership when you do that, Deborah? Let me see. Like-minded goals are difficult to find. This is from Candace. Understanding my capacity, which Carmen just talked about. Once again, procrastination was mentioned. So those are some of the juicy comments that were shared from the question that you asked.
Awesome. Thank you, Shawnee, for offering that. And so with those challenges that we've expressed, it's also important to get back to our initial reasoning as to why partner in the first place, right? And so, you know, if we knowing that these are some of the things that we are challenged with, looking at, you know, how do we partner to build on one another's strengths, and also recognizing our own strengths and also the spaces where we need support. Again, I also heard, you know, keeping the momentum going and delegating and asking for support. And so that really plays into filling in gaps and areas of growth. So in the spaces where, you know, you may not feel as grounded or as solid in what it is that what it is that you're creating, looking to partner with someone who can really offer that support and, you know, build up on that. And so with that, we can go into the next slide, where we would just really look at choosing the right partner, right? So what are the things to consider when we're choosing the right partner? We want to consider brand alignment. This really includes, you know, our shared vision, the values of the partner, our values, like really honing in on what it is and who it is that we are as a being, as an entity, as a business, and what is it that the other individual or the other business is also offering. How are their values aligned, and how are they communicating their brand and their purpose, and looking at that alignment between the both of us. location. And so, we can partner to expand our reach and our audience. We're at a digital age now, and so, the location is a space where, we can partner with folks, literally across the globe to help, cross-promote and to really help ourselves grow, and to also help our partners and our vision and our goals grow as well. Complementary products, programs, and services are also, taking into consideration why it is that we partner with an individual to, bring services together so that we could better have a greater impact on the communities and the targeted communities and the targeted participants that we are reaching. And so coming together to create a greater value together is definitely a reason to consider, your partner. Your ability to deliver. So I heard that quite a bit in what was shared around the challenges that we are experiencing with our partners. And so definitely looking at that partner's ability and our own ability and our own capacity in delivering, what it is that we are tasked with, and not taking on too much, just being really mindful and aware of, where we are within our own selves, and then also looking at where the partner is within their own selves, and, really supporting each other's strengths in our partnership. The fifth one is our target audience and community. So are you partnering to expand your target market? And is your partner's community in alignment with your brand and customer base as well? And so, please continue to type in the chat, some ways in which, reasons as to, and some other things to consider when collaborating with others. So what is something that you most look for in collaborating with someone? Please feel free to share and offer in the chat. I would love to bring someone in, but we can definitely do that in the end. I want to be mindful of the time and the space here. If we can go to the next slide. But yes, please, family, write this down. Think about, what do you look for most when collaborating with others? So mindful partnerships, what do mindful partnerships look like? They create value together. So, when two or more forces come together and join as one, co-creating greater value, greater impact together, that's in alignment with a mindful partnership. Sharing responsibilities, so equal distribution of responsibilities and duties, equal distribution of resources and support. So really sharing that responsibility of what's going on, and holding your partner and yourself accountable to, kind of, I don't want to, the terms and the, I should dare say, conditions of our partnership, making sure that they're equally aligned and that we're not taking on too much or looking for our partner to take on too much. So really being balanced and sharing that responsibility. Accountable and fair resource and profit sharing. So this is also in alignment with your sharing of responsibility. So you want to ensure that the resources that are being shared, or if there's any profit or anything that comes in on the back end of your partnership, it should also reflect the responsibilities and the resources that were leveraged throughout that partnership, or if it is events or a specific project or such. Really having accountable and fair sharing of the fruits that's yielded from the partnership together. And you want to operate as one in your partnership. So having that synergy and establishing sort of a guiding principle on, how things will flow and the operations of the collaboration, being in alignment with respect with, one another, and, having some set terms on, how we communicate about what it is that we are co-creating together, right? So operating as one, so that folks know that, hey, this is a joint venture. This is something that we're working together on. And, when you're speaking to folks in the community and as you're working on your endeavor, that, folks know that we are co-creating this. So we definitely want to have these things in mind as we are co-creating our partnerships, so that they will be healthy collaborations, and that we are mindful in our partnership creation. I'm going to go to the next slide, please. I see some juiciness coming in, so we're definitely going to bring someone into the space. So there are 4 guiding principles and I like to call them the keys for successful partnerships and strategic partnerships. And so first you want to identify the gaps and opportunities within your business, program, or event where you might need areas of support. And once you have identified those areas and gaps, you then just kind of want to take a look at your network and begin to do a little bit of research and seeing, okay, who do I know? Or maybe who do I know who may know someone who has the expertise, skills, and resources to, help support the gaps that might exist, and what are those opportunities? And so that's like the first step into thinking about building successful partnerships and being mindful and intentional in the entities and the people and the places that you co-create with. The next key, if you will, is to establish a solid foundation and clear objectives and to work towards a common goal. And so you want to work collaboratively in identifying, those clear objectives and working towards this common goal. So one of the things that we want to be mindful to is not to necessarily, if we're looking to co-create with someone, definitely come in with your values, with your objectives and how you are looking to co-create, but really building that with your co-creator and working together to create objectives that both entities, that both of you can, take responsibility and ownership for, that you can hold each other accountable for, and to also, be very mindful in, taking on what you can and not putting too much on your plate, but also having a shared balance of, those objectives and how one is holding one accountable to achieving those objectives and working towards the goal. And with that, you want to lean into each other's strengths, offer support, and focus on what you do well, and so that the partner can focus on what they do well. And so this is really, 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 really important because you want to just hone in on your strengths and be mindful to not necessarily take on too much or have that partner take on too much or try to do things that they may or that you also may not be able to fulfill with integrity and grace. So just leaning into your strengths and doing what you do well, and then revisiting the gaps and opportunities that might exist and continue to hold space to bring in, folks to co-create so that your endeavor will be most powerful for the goals that you are looking to achieve. And then the final thing here is that you want to establish solid communication and identify the best modes of communication and establish regular check-ins. So that's, again, very important. Communication, of course, we know is very key to really any partnership, intimate partnerships as well as, and business partnerships are also very, very, very intimate. Oftentimes, y'all refer to this as like, who is it that we're dating right now? Who is it that we're married to? Like, there are levels to our business relationships, right? And so establishing a solid communication in with your partners and the folks that you're co-creating with and collaborating with is also very important. So I definitely want to bring folks into the space, and I ask the community if we could give about extra 10 minutes or so to unpack these elements. I would love to bring someone in this space to share about times when you may have manifested a mindful partner and your experience in entering into partnerships and collaborations. And so I first want to offer that the admin please support me on the chat. I know there was lots coming through, and if someone wants to raise their hand and come into the space, definitely would love to offer that as well.
Yeah, I see your hand, Teresa. I want to, because you work for this community for sure. I want to see if there is someone else in the space that can contribute to the conversation as well. And just looking through, Candace, if you could unmute. I know that I consider you to be somebody who is masterful at creating connection and partnership. And if you're willing to share, please do unmute yourself so that you can share. And Angele, for those who don't have businesses, because folks can kind of, I know sometimes I hone in on the words that are being said and might eliminate myself from a conversation. So can you share who else is invited into this space about business partnerships, even if you don't own a business and you're not in business?
Absolutely. Any co-collaboration. If you have planned your family reunion, that requires co-collaboration. If you plan a birthday celebration, if there's anything that you're co-creating with anyone outside of yourself that requires you to lean to and open yourself up to needing support around anything. If in our religious spaces, if we are doing things with our spiritual groups or folks who are at church, we all oftentimes collaborate and lean to our community to support us on bringing people. Anytime we're bringing anyone together or looking to bring folks together to achieve a goal in any way, that's an opportunity for a mindful partnership. So absolutely, thank you, Shani, for that, because it's definitely not exclusive to folks who have businesses, but anytime we're in a space where we are, needing to, committees, we always on a committee of some sort. Those offer opportunity for mindful partnerships as well. So, yes.
Beautiful.
And rising sisters and Coach Shani. Sister Angele, I absolutely appreciate the bullet points that you've put down to consider, because there are times where I have partnered and because the goals were not aligned, those partnerships did not work as well as I wanted them to. When I stayed home for 4 years with my daughter when she was young, I did a little company called City Girl Cleaners. And throughout Brooklyn and Manhattan, the boroughs, we would team up and go and complete multiple tasks, including errands for folks who could afford to pay the very high prices I was charging, because I thought my time was valuable. And it didn't, I couldn't get it to the next level because of not being able to get that team together that had the same goal as I did. So in retrospect, had I had your bullet points to kind of work that out, that would have been helpful.
Okay, thank you, sis. You mentioned goal alignment. Yes, I dare to say that's at the top of setting the tone and the space for a mindful partnership. And again, like mindful partnerships, we can also take these into our intimate relationships, into our family relationships. When we are just co-creating space with another human being, being centered on our goals. Like, what is it that I am here to achieve? What is it that you are here to achieve? Let's look at that. And, are there parallels there? Are there, incongruencies there? And then, having a discussion and a conversation around that, and being able to really set a solid foundation to build upon, if our goals are aligned, because that's one thing that we can always come back to if there's, we're along the road and things may become a little rocky, like, wait a minute, let's get back to our core goals. Like let's get back to what it is that we're actually working to achieve here. And are our efforts working towards achieving that goal? So thank you, sis, for offering that into the space. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
My pleasure.
I would love to bring another voice into the space.
Righty. I would love to invite Cassie, because I know that she is a business, a womanpreneur, as I coin it. And then also what I love is that one of her partners is her son, her young son. So I love that. So Cassie, if you're willing to share, you don't have to just focus on your son, but just in general, your journey as far as partnership in your business.
Peace, love, and light, everyone. Grand Rising. Yes, as with Village Sistula, my company is all about partnership and that village, bringing that village together collectively. I use like a community asset-based approach. So looking at my community, what assets they have to better the support specifically for gestational individuals, those who are bringing in life. And I love how Ms. Shani talked about my son too. My son, I gave him the title as my business partner because I wanted him to learn at a very early age the significance of partnership, knowing your worth, and building upon your talents. But partnership is very important. In public health, they refer to it as community asset building, right? But I love how my sister put those bullet points, because those bullet points are very important to know what the focus is. So you have a focal point of, okay, this is our agreement. And yeah, and contracts too are important too, along with that. So yes, I'm excited to be here this morning, and I am complete.
Thank you, sis. I say thank you. You mentioned contracts. Yes, that's like part two to the scenario where you really want to, again, establish like clear, just, all those points that were outlined there in terms of how we will communicate together, sharing the responsibilities together, all of the things that, one might think of when it comes to holding ourselves accountable and holding our co-collaborator accountable. It's very important to, outline those things tangibly so that we can have a reference point to come back to, particularly when outlining our business contracts. But again, even if you are, planning an event or a celebration, there's always opportunity there to just really be very clear and very transparent on what's expected on both sides, on what the strengths are on both sides, and a method of holding one accountable to that on both sides, so that you would have a reference point in coming back and being able to move powerfully and manifesting what it is that you're working to achieve. So thank you, sis, Ashe. I saw some things come through on the chat, and I also saw, Teresa, I know you had your hand raised earlier, and if we can definitely come and bring your voice into the space as well.
Angele, there's a question in the chat from Kay Sweetness. I believe it's directed at Cassie. She's asking about the business, not clear what is the business she has. And am I correct, Kay Sweetness? You're trying to get clarity on the different businesses Cassie partners in.
Yes, the young lady who just spoke about her son being her partner. Was it just one business? I wasn't clear.
Yes,
yeah.
Grand Rising. I am waking up this morning. I love my village here. With Village Sis Doula, I'm a doula who provides physical, emotional, and spiritual support. But with Village Sis Doula, most importantly, education for those who are bringing life into the world, specifically with those who are melanated due to the statistics here that Black women, Black gestational individuals are 3 to 4 times more likely to die in childbirth, right? But I'm only one sister in the village. So the village is very important, which is partnership. So those individuals who, there are bereavement doulas, there are postpartum doulas, there are fertility doulas. There are so many titles and focus that doulas have, but success does not take one person, it takes a village, right? So what's also equally important in Village Sis Doula is burnout. So if one sister or someone else, whoever you identify as, really needs that support is there. So we work from our cup runneth over, right? I think I said that correctly. And then my son, he has his own business. His business is through healing crystals, right? So at Healing Crystals, with that, he learns about his math, his science, about math, how to do how to do contracts as well, and also how to put your money in a bank. So they're very surprised to see a little 7-year-old walking in depositing money in his account. So my business deals primarily with birth work, but also education. So we do have educational tools that might be focused on how to grow your own food, how to center yourself while you're in pregnancy. So there's different topics that we also teach, but primarily my focus is toward gestational individuals and their families, and I am complete.
Yes, sis. Thank you for sharing all the awesomeness that you are engaged in, and how you are powerfully co-creating with your village sisters, with your son, and it's just very, very powerful. So yes, thank you. There's a quote that I referenced to, and it says, I believe that we can create a better world, a better tomorrow if we just work together, right? Don't you? And so you definitely communicated that in your share, sis. So thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Teresa, I know you have your hand raised.
I just want to thank you for this beautiful just having this talk today, because sometimes you just feel like, like when would I'll be saying to myself, I can help other people do their business, but when it comes to me, I don't seem to be on point. So those points and just this whole conversation just really helped me, because I think sometimes, as just for me, we don't always reach out to the community to get help. And so you just gave some great points, and Sister Cassie just took it to another level. When she was between the two of you, I was like a great light bulb. And plus, I put the things in the 4 keys things, so that's going to really help me. And I just feel really blessed by being on here. Thank you very much, and I'm complete.
Thank you, sis. Thank you.
Angele, I wanted to inject something into the conversation, if that's okay. And then also, I'm basing this on your level of availability, because I believe there's more shares out there. So how much time are you able to spend in the conversation? Because this is a very rich exchange, and I don't want to cut it off at the knees if there's more to share, which I feel that there is, but it's up to you.
Yeah, we can definitely keep going, and I feel that too. I see some beautiful things coming through the chat I want to address, absolutely.
Awesome. So as someone who has had a business for 19 years, I partnered with many, many people in different ways. But when I started the business, it was co-created and birthed by my former business partner and myself. And we worked together for a decade. And one of the things that I discovered in that partnership, well, a few things, is that it mirrored very closely intimate partnership and how I show up in it. Because as you said, I think you said this earlier, that business partnership is intimate partnership. Like you're commingling ideas, money, vision, purpose, like all of that together. And I remember when we legalized our partnership, our business, she said, because she had presence of mind, that we were legalizing our friendship, like creating a space for that. And I was like, no, I was in such denial about what it could potentially do to our partnership as friends. I had it compartmentalized, but there was a blend. And I'll quickly say, well, 2 things. I'll say something that was really powerful about our partnership and how it aligns with intimate partnership and what I want. We were so connected as partners. We were born on the same day, but I say that was just an extra benefit. But we were so connected that I could look across the room when we were facilitating and have her and drop into her what to say or do next. We had such a level of synergy and intimacy, and we were so spiritually connected and aligned that we were able to generate in such a phenomenal way and be spontaneous. So key in doing work with other human beings, especially around mind, body, spirit transformation. And then the other thing, when our partnership ended, we did couples counseling. It was business partnership counseling, but it had the components of couples counseling. And I realized that I handed over so much to her because I placed her in this position that she never asked for. And it created a rift in our relationship. And things happened on her end too, but I'm taking responsibility for me. That is important to know that anywhere is everywhere. So how we show up in partnerships and business and our church groups and other spaces can seep over into business oriented things. So anywhere, again, is everywhere. And that comes from Coach and E.I. Robin, who always leads in this space as well. So I'm complete.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you, Coach Shani, for sharing that. Because yes, you're absolutely right. Our business partnerships, or even any spaces that we're co-collaborating with, are very, very intimate. And so, it's so much so to where there's another workshop that I do where we literally talk about our relationship. We talk about our business relationships in the terms of intimate relationships. So we'll start out doing like a partner mapping, And, you know, I would say, you know, we would go through like, who are we courting right now? Who is it that we're just kind of getting to know right now? You know, we kind of, you know, we hitting them up. We may be like texting a little bit. We just, who is it in our business network that we're kind of getting to know, right? And the next level to that would be like, who is it that we're dating? And so, you know, in the dating phase, we may be supporting one another's events, or maybe sharing information or sharing each other's events, and just kind of seeing how we work together, or how the energies, or if there's synergy aligned in our partnership, which goes to one of the points that I talked about value alignment. So that's kind of, you know, what we do in the dating stage, if you will, of our partnerships. And then it's like, okay, we're together. Who is it that we are in a relationship with? And, you know, the relationship may be, you know, we are co-collaborating to do an event together. You know, we've come together to partner together to do an event, or to work together on something that, you know, we're not necessarily married, but we're definitely together, we're building together, and we're saying, you know, like, how can this, you know, possibly flourish into a marriage in our businessship, in our co-collaboration, which is in alignment with what it sounds like you described, Shani. And, you know, we signed something together. We signed on the dotted line and have committed to, you know, building this business. That's like the marriage stage of the relationship. And so there are definitely stages to our co-collaborations and how we co-create in the endeavors that we are engaged in with other, you know, people, partners, and entities. And that also is reflected again in our non-business scenarios. I saw something come through in the chat as well about working in the nonprofit sector. And, you know, thinking about how it is, you know, when we're creating our boards and when we're working to create those spaces, there's definitely opportunity there to introduce these concepts when looking at, you know, the right folks to be on your board, the right people to be on your team. You know, are our values aligned? You know, what are the strengths here? How can we build upon and support one another's strengths when building your team? So there's definitely opportunities there to just really look at these various nuances when it comes to anything that we're co-creating that has a goal that will manifest something into the world. And so I thank you for offering that, Shani, as well, and also offering and sharing about some of the challenges that you experience in that co-creation and in that intimate partnership, because yes, it's very, very intimate, our relationships with our co-collaborators. Yes, thank you for sharing that. Mm-hmm.
All right, you mentioned the chat that you wanted to comment on some things. I know you just mentioned something that someone dropped in the chat about the board development. Do you want me to read additional commentary from the chat? Okay, wonderful. Let me see how far back I can go. So Adam had made correlation between you know, this business partnership development and building a football, basketball, or baseball team. One person can't win the championship by his or herself. He mentioned again, just like how a player needs a coach, a sports team owner needs a general manager. And so people were commenting and agreeing with that. Folks asked for the keys to successful partnership so that they could review them. And Kay Sweetness mentioned being open and flexible is good when working with others. Peace, love, and light. Yes, today we have it all. And a commentary about what Cassie was sharing about her business and how it works and her son. And Candace said, I could not find a team to consistently deliver excellence for the CGC brand. I was the engine and went the extra mile all the time. My coworkers weren't so interested in delivering the best product. So you want me to stop or you want me to keep going, sis?
No, we can pause there. I thank you for that. A couple things that came up: open and flexible. Yes, those are some other key elements to just really being powerful in your co-collaboration, and being open and flexible to recognizing and understanding that you know, it really takes, you know, two people coming together, or more than two people coming together, sharing ideas and different practices that may work for them. And it's a learning and growing opportunity. So yes, thank you so much for that. And so I want to be mindful of the time, but also leave again with the message and the understanding that partnerships, healthy partnerships, mindful partnerships, serve us so well, and it serves such great value when we are, you know, moving and being in the world. And so I again thank you all for being with us today, and offer again to take these elements and these keys into not only your business practices and endeavors, but also as you are just co-creating with your family, with your loved ones, with your friends, with your folks in your, you know, spiritual and religious spaces, and being mindful of oneself, so that you can also co-create and share, you know, these things with those who you are collaborating with. And so I give thanks, Ashe.
Awesome. Tiffany, we ready?
Yes, we are. All right, Angela, you can speak on your special offer for today's participants.
Yes, so I am offering one business partnership consultation to the first two participants that email me by 9 a.m. You can email me at Angele D at andgroup, ANDGROUP.dev, expressing your interest in a business partnership consultation. We will go through these elements and we can talk through a bit more with you around, you know, what you're experiencing. And there are also some additional like services and things like that that you could definitely talk through that will support you in your endeavors. So the first two participants that reach out to me by 9 a.m. Will receive one consultation with me. Thank you. All right, this is my contact information. You can reach me on social at Journeys in Harmony. My email, again, is Angele D, ANGELE D, the letter D, at andgroup.dev. And I was very excited. Up next tomorrow, we have Coach Mika, who will be sharing. We will have a discussion about truth tea. Why do we choose wound over wisdom? I'm very excited for this conversation tomorrow.
Thank you, Angele. I will take over for here. Coming up this Friday, July 30th from 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. We have DJ Sienna on the ones and twos. Make sure you register at bit.ly/wake up movement for the wake up dance party for the month of July. Welcome to the Woo Nation, all new Woo members. If this is your first time in the community, please drop it in the chat. We want to acknowledge you for coming to join us in a community where we choose to learn, elevate, and ascend. This is our schedule. We are live on Zoom and Facebook 5 days a week. Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. and Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 to 7:30. If you would like to be made aware when Wake Up is going to be live, make sure you text Woo Nation to 74121. Thank you very much. Make sure you stay in touch with us so you can register at bit.ly/wake up movement. You can follow us on Facebook at bit.ly/Woo community, on Instagram at Wake Up Everybody Virtual, on YouTube at bit.ly/Woo on YouTube. And lastly, email us at info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. We are always looking for more presenters, more help in the admin department. So if you're interested in joining us, please email us and we will get back to you.
time now for everyone to come off of mute and thank Angele for her beautiful presentation and sharing that knowledge with us today. Thank you very much, Angele. It's been wonderful partnering with you this morning.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so very
Thank
much.
you. Beautiful.
I learned so much today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Great.
Great information.
Information.
Powerful.
Thank you,
Have a
Angela.
wonderful
Thank you.
day.
Thank you,
Thank
Angela.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thanks for
your
pouring into the
knowledge.
community.
Thank you
It takes a
again.
village.
Thank you,
Thanks
Cass.
for your
Thank you,
insights.
Angela.
Thank you.
Really
Absolutely.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Be done.
Blessings, blessings.
Community.
Thank
You. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes,
Everybody.
thank you very much.
Thank
Learned
you.
a lot. Thank you.
Partnerships everywhere. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, thank you.
Thank y'all, family. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.